Good morning. Today is the 23rd of June 2023 and this is my trade plan for today. Right, I've got the MES or the ES chart open on the daily at the moment. So recently we saw, I'll leave that trend line because I'll see that on the 60 in a minute. Recently we saw a pivot high and we've watched 3 days of pullback. Yesterday looked like it was going to hold this trend line on the hourly, and overnight it sold back off again. So moving over to the hourly, so key levels on the daily for ES will be this area 45 excuse me, 43, let me just open up my pen. It will be 43.05, this area here. This is what I'll be watching for a reject, for a bounce, but I'm also watching this area here, which is where we are now, because it's an area of convergence where candles are, let's clear that, make it smaller, there you go. So this area here, so you can see it was originally resistance and then it provided support. It was support yesterday and it looks like it's gone through support. I've not really looked at the chart today, so I'm kind of doing a live trade plan. So looking at the 60, the hourly chart on the MES, and look at that. I will say I do have a limit order here, so I think I've been triggered in for a scalp, which I'll check in a second. But look at the hourly. So the hourly, we've got this area of support, previously known support along here, which is why I've got a small order waiting for that bounce up, which I put in this morning. And the real bounce area is going to be 4366, this area here, which happens to be this area of support, and then it went through that support and is now, resistance, it went through the resistance and that is now the floor or the support area. So I'll be looking for 4366, 4370, that area as a bounce, and that'll be a full size position bounce. I've got a small bounce area also here, which is at 4390, 4388, and that is a scalp, which I think I'm in now. I will check my orders in a second. On the rejection side, we've got this area here which has been proven to be resistance, this area here, and it's kind of sitting up nicely on that area there. So it's resistance, support, and then it provided us as a break and retest area, and then yesterday it didn't quite make that, so we're putting in a lower high right now, which probably wants to show us that we're going to continue on this downtrend. We've just broken that low, wasn't able to regain that high, and other than a small bounce back up to here, I think we're going to go down. I did draw this trend line actually on the 60, and yesterday it looked like it wanted to break through, pull back, and today when I had a quick look this morning, put my orders in, I thought it was going to bounce off, and that's why I put a small scalp order in just there in case it does break through. And look, it's now gone through the trend line. Okay, so I'll be watching 4438 as a rejection. That will be a full size position where I'll be layering in. I'll take 4432, I think, as an area, and then I'll be looking to go in another 2 contracts at 4438. And as it reverses back out, I will try and look for adds on the way back down to continue the trend down. So on this MES it's 4438 rejection, 4366 or 4370 for a bounce. Moving over to the SPY on the hourly. So we've got this nice head and shoulders pattern played out. This shoulder pattern here. This is the left shoulder, the head. Possibly we built the right shoulder yesterday. we are putting in a series of lower highs and lower lows, coming up down here. Still low. Yesterday it couldn't quite break that high, and it's putting a new low today. So I don't want to be biased, but I think we're looking at another down day today. So my levels are going to be 432 for a scalp. 430 will be a full size SPY position. I'll buy options for that and calls. So again, a full position will be 430, will be maybe one contract. 429.88, which is the bottom of the zone, will be a second contract, and then I'll be looking for ads on the way back up. On the rejection side, 437's got to be an area which is the top half, which is the tops of the shoulders, and possibly the top of yesterday's shoulder as well. So they're the two main areas: 430 bounce, 437 rejection, and I'll be looking for some scalps in between. So 431, 435.50, which was setting up as a neckline area, and it looks like that's where yesterday's high was. The pre-market high was 435.51. So if we see it break through this area, we can see it running up then to the top of that shoulder. So possibly look for a break and retest if we don't want to see the bounce scalp a bounce. If we don't want to scalp a rejection down. So I think that's the game plan today. So game plan, slight short bias, but try not to be biased. Watch for confirmation on the rejections. If we see break and retesting, so for example, if we get down to 432 and there's no real rejection volume, so we see a bottom tail candle with on low volume, then we might see it break through. So we'll look for a retest, and the other way around, if we want to see it bounce, we want to see high volume on that candle with high follow through volume as well as it's coming back up. And the same on the top, we're looking for high volume on the rejection, low volume if it's going to be a fake breakout, and that could also say we'll be a rejection level down. But if we see high volume going through the level, then we might be seeing a break and retest. So we'll be looking for break and retest on these levels. Oh, my pen's not drawing. Or rejection. So it's basically have no bias, watch both directions, and try and get a good trade, and use as many confirmations as possible. So we've got levels as a confirmation area, we have the head and shoulder pattern as a confirmation, we have volume we can look at for confirmation, and we can have candle patterns like the top and tails for confirmation as well. So the more confirmations the better. So that's my plan today, and I'm camping later on today, so I'm only going to be playing the first couple of hours, maybe first 2-3 hours of the market, which is my long-term goal, only to play anyway, because nobody wants to be playing the entire market. There's a good quote yesterday from one of the online videos I was watching, and he said that the stock market is a morning business. Well, not for me in the UK, because it's a afternoon business, but I don't want it to be an evening business for me. So I think playing the first few hours of the market and try and get these bigger moves definitely trumps trying to play the afternoons. And I had a losing day yesterday, a marginally losing day. It's still red because I went setting up my camp equipment, my tent and my camping site for today, and I put some orders in place, and I was trying to see it go short. The idea was right, but the wrong time again. And when I came back to review, I was in profit, didn't touch my take profit, and it said stop me out. So again, don't walk away from the market and let it run. You want to be watching it really, because I get into too much of a bad habit of watching the market, walking away with my orders in place, OCO orders, and watching them all stop out for no profit or for losing days. Anyway, have a good day trading, and I will speak to some of you today. Thank you for listening.